Good day, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and greetings today, not in the office, not even in Dubai. It is in Greece, Athens, and behind me is a very historical area. And believe it or not, we are now in a session, in conference with our colleagues related to citizenship and residency by investment programs. And we took the chance to meet one of a very dear friend, dear colleague, a professional lawyer, came all the way from Grenada to Greece to attend this conference and even also to share so many insight information with that. For whoever watching this video for the first time, as you know, my name is Tony Ibrahim. I'm your captain for citizenship and residency by investment programs. And this podcast will be dedicated to the Grenadian citizenship program. But before going to talk with our guest today, about Grenada. So allow me to talk or allow me to introduce our guest today. So our guest, of course, Mrs. Margaret Wilkinson, and she is currently leading a dynamic team at Infinity Grenada Inc., specializing in citizenship by investment programs across Grenada and the border Caribbean region. Service as the primary liaison between international investors and government stakeholders while navigating a complex regulation framework, spearheads invites at a streamline application process while maintaining strict compliance, which is very important, strict compliance with international regulation and due diligence stance. Develops and implements comprehensive post-citizenship service tailored to high net worth individuals, creating seamless transaction into their new citizenship status. These innovation services include personalized relocation support, tax planning guidance, education institution placement, and property investment consultation. Champions, and she is a champion, of his holistic approach to citizenship acquisition that extend well beyond the initial application process. Without any further ado, allow me to welcome Mrs. Margaret. Thank you for having the time for us.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Mrs. Margaret, our relationship starts back in 10 years ago.
That's correct.
When I was a bit new in the business and bit new about the citizenship by investment programs. And I remember that day when we had more than 1 hour phone call for you that you had the kind time to discuss the citizenship program, the Grenadian citizenship program to me, and even also to educate me about the Grenadian program. And through back then till now, we've been having really a good professional business together, and then even also way beyond, where we deliver happiness to our clients, the mutual clients together. I have to tell all the audience that Mrs. Margaret is the first licensed lawyer in Grenada for the citizenship by investment program. And it is, you're not only specialized in citizenship, also you're a lawyer by profession.
That is correct.
And you can help all Grenadian citizens that related to any legal matters in Grenada and even also in beyond. I would love to hear from you first about if anything you wanted to tell the people who's watching this video about yourself, more than what I talk.
Well, Tony, first, I have to say I appreciate our relationship. It's been long, steady, never interrupted by any disrespect or any situation that caused persons to drift apart. We have had that relationship, and I again thank you publicly for hosting me when I was in Dubai to dinner and
pleasure.
to meet your family.
Pleasure.
So that in itself was a special occasion for me, and having that connection to someone in Dubai.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So thank you. And as I introduce myself, I'm an attorney at law by profession. I have been involved in the immigration business in Grenada all my life, all my professional life. And then when we started our first program in 1997, I was involved in that program. And as you know, that program ended in 2021. Yes. And
Sure.
2001. That program ended
Absolute
in 2001.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
And so when, again, the program restarted in 2013, I again became involved in the immigration process. And I have been in this process working as a local agent under the laws of Grenada and serving persons like yourself.
And we're more than happy to have someone professional like yourself in Grenada to support us with all our applications. Coming back to the history of the citizenship program, as you have mentioned, that it starts in 1997,
Yes.
and then ended in 2001, and then restarted in 2013. If we can call the differences, let's say, what are is there a huge difference between the program, the first, let's say, phase of the program with the second phase of the program?
Oh, yes. Huge difference. So the first program was called an economic citizenship program, and it was just that. To the government of Grenada at the time, they needed revenue, they needed human beings, they needed investors. And so that program was intended to give citizenship to persons who indeed would invest, build factories, do things, build hotels, all of those things that would in turn benefit Grenada. They would come to live, they would relocate. So that program was really and truly strictly economic.
Okay.
Money and business.
And mainly like for foreign income, let's say, or foreign investment to
That
come
is
to
correct.
Grenada.
And so we get foreign investment. And you know, we sold many, 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 many passports under that program. And at that point, and I like to make this note, we did not have the Schengen visa waiver at that point.
Right.
But still yet, our program was very attractive, even without the Schengen visa waiver.
We will talk definitely about this aspect, but if we can call the comparison between the first phase and the second phase, is the second phase of the citizenship program was more regulated, if we can call it more specific?
So the government discontinued that first program for many different reasons. And then in 2013, they came back with a new program, but this one was completely different to the first program. It was no longer just a pure economic program. It was a program that would lead to a lot of development on the island. So we now have the National Transformation Fund, which is a donation to the government that goes into what is called the consolidated fund of the government. And then the government would do developmental programs within the island. So it just don't go into the treasury and get spent willy-nilly. It goes into a fund. Then we have what is called the approved projects, which is intended to create employment. It is intended to fill the gap of the areas that we certainly need filling. So for instance, we are a tourist island. We offer tourism, but we didn't have enough hotels. So for a long, long time, we did not have enough hotels. So then came the hotel industry. And we now have a Six Sense on island. We now are going to have an Intercontinental on island. Coming on stream is also the Hilton. We have Emerald Suites. So we are now getting hotels through that approved project. But in addition to that, we have what is called a significant investor. And this is not really marketed much, but it's very significant. So for instance, we needed a distillation company, a water company, and that company came in as a significant investor. And as a significant investor, they get the benefit of citizenship. So they have to employ a certain amount of persons. It's in the law, how they become a significant investor. We also have a boutique hotel, which also came in as a significant investor. And that hotel is so unique because it's a hotel with not much more than 12 rooms. And it's
nice.
All or nothing. So you rent that hotel for your family.
Yeah, but like a bit privacy.
So a group come in, they rent that hotel, and they have all the privacy. They have their own pools, their own beach, everything.
That's
completely
nice.
private. They even have a helicopter pad
Okay.
at that hotel.
What a luxury.
There's a
Nice.
wonderful jetty with a helicopter pad at the end.
Oh, that's nice.
So that hotel, that boutique hotel, came in as a significant investor. And then last year, November, 2024 November, the government has just introduced what you call citizenship by invitation, which is you established at the government, you have 30 million, and you get your fast track citizenship because that is managed directly by the government.
Okay, the funds you mean, right?
No, who can invest
Okay.
as a citizen by invitation.
Okay.
So you go through the same rigor of due diligence like every other applicant under the program, but what it is, your application is on a fast track and you must prove that you have sufficient funds to get such invitation.
Absolutely.
So this new program is absolutely dynamic for Grenada.
And I believe that there is no any country else so far that they have this type of option, let's say, citizenship by invitation. I've never heard it in any country.
No.
Which is quite unique and making even also Grenada more unique with
Yes.
inventing a new technique and even also new ideas towards the economy.
Well, we are the only one with 4 options. We are the only island of the 5 Caribbean islands. We are the only one with 4 options for investment.
I agree with you. St. Lucia, they have a few other options as well,
Yes.
other than the real estate and then the donation.
Yes.
But the most common things are whether the non-refundable contribution or even also the real estate. But let's go back in 1997, where the
Yes.
program started.
Yes.
If I may to know, what was the government idea or thoughts to go along with the citizenship program? What was there any suffer in terms of economy or drifting or driving foreign investment to come to the country? Is it, let's say, seeing the neighboring countries who they have citizenship program back then, and then trying to see something similar to that option? So if we just know about the history, how the program starts in Grenada.
The program, that economic citizenship program, we had not many marketing agents. That's the start. The government selected a few persons. A few persons applied. First, it was under the government control. Then the government got a committee in place. Then it was called GIFSA. So we got that structure in place. The government concept at that point was to bring in revenue to develop the country. As I say, it was called economic citizenship. So the intention was to just bring in revenue to develop the country. But in addition to that, they wanted some human capital, some specialists, specialized doctors, specialized projects. They wanted that sort of individual to come to actually reside in Grenada and help develop us. We are an agricultural country, and so help develop our agriculture, contribute to the country you are getting citizenship in.
Absolutely, and I believe there are so many investment opportunities. Maybe the people who they are interested for the citizenship may not know that. As example, Grenada, they have the second producer in the world for nutmeg, as example.
That is correct.
And so many other matters where it can be easily, let's say, developed in a way for a business perspective, and especially, of course, with a special treaty with other countries, so it can help not only the community, it can help also the citizens once they become a citizen to do business and to gain profit, to be to deal with the thing that they always like to do, which is making business at the end of the day and benefiting everyone with that.
So we wanted them to come to live. Not, the program now is very different in that you get your citizenship, you don't come to live. you don't necessarily have a connection with the country, but you have
Sure.
a Grenada passport. But our first program, many of the original citizens under that economic program bought property in Grenada, built homes, and actually we have had citizens who have participated in the Olympics on behalf of Grenada.
Oh, what nice is that?
So the economic citizenship program, as I say, the intention was to really make the citizens be integrated into Grenada as a Grenadian.
I totally agree with you, and then in the fact that the former Consul General of Grenada in Dubai, one day when we had a podcast together, she was telling me that one of the citizens that for the entering Grenada with his Grenadian passport, the officer, the immigration officer, after stamping the passport, he told him, "Welcome home." And it really felt so nice to him in that aspect that they are considering me one of them, and that it really make big difference at the end. Let's go with the technical part.
Yes.
We're both lawyers, and I would love always to talk about technicality, the process of the applications. The citizenship, the new citizenship program, let's say, has been running for the last 12 years.
Yes.
So far. So is there any changes, let's say, from 2013 to 2025? Is there any more development, enhancement has happened? And then a lot of people, even also with some colleagues in our industry, they really don't know what is really happening in the application after submitting it to the local agent, which is your esteemed firm. And then, what is really happening from your end, the moment that you have the application, the moment to prepare the application in a better way, or even also like filter it in case if there is any mistakes, if there is anything that it has to be implemented in the application, then submitting it, and then from the submission to go. So maybe I made a few parts, but let me cut it off. So what are the differences, if we can call it, from back in 2013, for example, to today?
So we have streamlined that processing. Grenada has streamlined that processing to the point where you do not need original documents anymore. When the program started, everything had to be original, and you had to submit a pile this big.
Yes.
In originals.
And very heavy.
And very heavy, very costly for the marketing agents and the sub-marketing agents to ship to us, because everything had to be originals. And the unit had to get all of these originals. And in some cases, persons ran the risk of not getting back their originals in a timely manner, because then again, the application process was longer, due diligence was different. But with the advent of technology, and with the advancement of Grenada's unit, which is now called the IMA, Investment Migration Agency, we have moved from the handling of paper to the handling of zero paper.
That's okay.
There is zero paper because everything is done online. There's a very strict certification compliance now to ensure that you are submitting correct documents. So once you can get that certification done correctly on your documents, it means that everything goes smoothly, because everything is done. Grenada unit has a portal, and as a local agent, we have access to that portal. And we see every stage the application moves to. So we are able to now communicate even better with our agents.
Absolutely.
Because before, it was very tedious in the sense that without the portal, you would write letters. Sometimes you get a response if they were able to give you a response. Sometimes you call for 3 days because the agent is calling nonstop. I need a status, I need a status. And you are calling the unit, I need a status, I need a status. As it is now, you put in your password, you see the status, In 30 seconds, you can tell the
You get the
agent,
information.
this is the status. So I would say Grenada has transitioned in 12
Amazing,
years to a position of, I wouldn't say excellence, but
Always there is a ways to improve,
Yes.
but at the end of the day,
Yes.
they are more advanced, if we can
that's
call it.
correct.
And we hope also to be way advanced in the very near future. What I really like about the status, to get the status of the applications at the moment, that
Yes.
you can get all the information, including, some certain details of the officers, or even also if the citizenship unit themselves, the employees, let's say, or the officers
Yes.
there. About the details of the application, this is similar to the Canadian programs, to the American programs, in a way that you can get even also the officers in a
Yes.
way, and of course no one with very limited access, like no one can get the information. There are some certain people like your esteemed firm that can get the information from the IMA. So we talked about the development the differences between 2013 and today's the process in terms of technology, but we would love to know the application comes to you from certain agents, whether from me, whether from anyone else. Now, Grenada, Infinity Grenada Inc.
Yes.
What they do?
So, what we do, we vet your application. That's the first thing. And of course, with technology, as you know, comes accuracy.
Yeah.
So, in the past, you may have little accuracies. You submit your application, you get a call saying, this is not correct, that is not correct.
Sometimes,
However,
unfortunately, spelling mistakes that happens,
Yes.
and I believe that it is happening
Yes.
till date, unfortunately.
yes.
But
So now the process is very straightforward. You can upload as the agent sends you documents, you upload it on the IMA portal, and you then, as soon as you have all of the documents, and they all valid, because every document is time sensitive. Well, certain documents are time sensitive. Your medical, your HIV test, that's time sensitive. Your police report, that's time sensitive. So the documents that are time sensitive, you always have to pay 9 of those.
sure.
So everything can be uploaded on the Citizenship by Investment portal, on the IMA portal as we call
Yes.
it now. So everything is uploaded on the portal, and the minute you send the last document, I press send.
Okay.
Once everything is in order, I press send to the unit.
And then goes
Within
submitted.
24 hours, we get an automated receipt letter, application receipt letter. Because immediately it goes to the unit system proofs it. If it's not good, if some things are missing, it comes back to you within 24 hours.
Oh, okay. So
If it's
reviewing of the application comes
Is
within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours.
That's so fast.
Unless something is really amiss.
Yes.
But generally, it comes back to you within 24 hours.
Okay.
And if all is good, you get an application receipt letter
With the reference
within
number.
24 hours. With the number, it comes with the reference number, it comes with the person who the file has been assigned to. So immediately you have all of the information you need to move that application forward.
Great. And then even also to be shared to the applicant, since
That
of
is
course he
correct.
would love to know all the details related to his application. Let's because I feel like a few people might consider that submitting soft copies of the documents might lead to maybe some providing fake documents. How Grenada government or the IMA trying to prevent all of this?
Well, we have captured those persons already. Because
They are in jail now.
human beings will always try something, and that's why we have laws.
That's so
because
true.
human beings will always try to do something outside of what is the law. But because Grenada has not just one level of due diligence, we have 5 levels of due diligence.
That's the people that they really don't know. I would
And-
love to hear them from you.
And so this 5 levels of due diligence, really, I tell you, you will get caught by at least one. So my recommendation is don't
not
try
do
it.
it. Don't try it at
even
home.
try it.
Don't try it at the
because
office.
all you are doing is putting yourself in the category of denial.
Of course.
Because as you know, one of the grounds of denial, which we'll come to later, is that you provided false information.
Absolutely.
So immediately, your application would just have gone in, you put in a false document, you have, by your own doing, denied yourself not just citizenship in Grenada, but all of the other 4 territories in the Caribbean.
That's so true.
So don't try it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is at least for the people they're watching this episode to know really that, you know, how strong and strength of due diligence in Grenada, that it can easily be found any type of providing fake documents and so on.